your right, Briar Island Lighthouse.
So this is probably the last lighthouse that I'm going to get to on Nova Scotia. Oh, it's a sad moment. You just see little bobbing heads over there. Right? I was hoping to see a bunch of seals. Well, I was really hoping to see some harbor seals, but I didn't. So, well, I think I seen a couple off into the distance. But, yeah, still beautiful. I am going to go up on this cliff, though. There's a little path, so hang tight. It's telling me to go down this road. Right shot. It's only a few minutes extra. Oh, cat, time things better than this. Holy smokes. See if they can sit outside at the restaurant. Just above Water Cafe.
In 500 meters, the destination is on your right, just above Water Cafe. destination is on your right, just above Water Cafe. Arrived.
Oh, look at that, buddy. It's okay. I did get the fish and chips. It's haddock. I prefer it if it's cod. But I did get lots of tartar sauce, and they did give me lots of tartar sauce. So I'm at this just above the Water Cafe. I think it's called Chinkerton. I got one more ferry to take over, and then we head back to the campsite. These little ferries between these small islands are free, so you don't pay for them. They run. It takes you 20 minutes from start to finish. Not bad. I'm not a fish person, but when I see these little places, I thought I'll try them, see what they're like. Yeah, it's a bit clouded over here, but there's lots of sunshine right there. I don't know if the weather's changing, but that's okay. We can use a break. We're going to go back. We've got our mosquito tent up, so I'll be going. I'm going to do one load of laundry. I want to do have a bit of clothes, and I got to check the one pillowcase that my clothes are in, because of the one that I pulled out this morning was damp, and I think it was put away a bit damp, thinking that it should be dry, but I'm just going to double check. I'm going to do his cooling blanket. Oh, the ferry just left without us, without anybody. Huh. Not quite sure. I'm not sure what the heck happened. He's moving at a pretty good pace, so maybe there's a bit of an emergency he's got to run back to. Well, it's not the first emergency. That, if it is, that'd be the third one that I've been. So that being said, this one ran back. It'll be interesting what comes off the ferry. But we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I think there's an outhouse with my name on it. So the ferry's back, man. That was lickety split. That was like not even 10 minutes, and there's an ambulance on it. Third ferry in my travels that I've been impacted by an emergency. So it just goes to show how important the ferry system is to the East Coast. Hey, buddy? Yeah. So that ambulance that came in, that it actually went down right by where I was parked and having my lunch. There was a couple of sailboats coming in, and I noticed the one was in there, and it just backed us up. Oh, there's a big RV coming in. Just throws my perception off when that happens. So anyways, it looked like maybe there was a medical emergency. That's why those 2 sailboats came into the fisheries area there, because it's not a marina. So in the system of the ferry system, the ambulance override, and it has to. It's important that the ferries go back and get the ambulance. And in this particular case, when the ferry came in, he was loaded, so he had to unload. He did not take a load, and he scooted back, like literally, like he was back here in 10 minutes. So he booted it back to pick up the ambulance and bring the ambulance back. So yeah, the ferry system is very important to the East Coast. And this is the 3rd ferry that I've been impacted by emergencies. So it's that common. If you have a deadline, you make sure you allow a lot of time, because it will happen. I mean, I'm just leisurely traveling, and it happened to me 3 times. So I'm trying to think how many ferries I've had. I've had Labrador to Newfoundland. I've had the Fogo Island. I've had the Change Island. I've had the Bell Island. I've had I'm gonna put my emergency brake on. I've had these 2 back and forth. So, and I've had the Port of Ask one, and I'll have the Digby. So some of them are one way. These 2 are 2 ways. Bell Island was 2 ways. When I went to Fogo, I did to Fogo with intentions of going to Change Island, which ended up having to come back to, I think it's called Awesome, and then go back to Change Island, stay in Change Island, went to leave Change Island, came back to Change Island, and picked up the ambulance and motored on to Awesome. So at that point in time, the ambulance is at the back because the ferries are already loaded. But when you get off and you move out of the way. So yeah, so don't go anywhere thinking that the ferry system's going to be on time, because odds are it's not.
In 1 kilometer, keep left onto Route 217.